Why is it that we are unable to come together and speak our truth and demand that what needs to be done must be done? It's because they defeated us where it matters the most, which is the mind. It started with the missionaries in Africa long before slavery. They were sent by the Roman Catholic Church to subdue the Africans, make them believe that when you get slapped, turn the other cheek, and that your riches are in heaven. So by the time they followed with the colonizers to reap and rape Africa, we were already brainwashed. We were meant to believe everything African was bad and undesirable, and everything European was better. And the same brainwashing continued as our children were taken out of Africa enslaved. It continued on the plantations, color gradations, light-skinned versus dark-skinned, field workers versus kitchen workers. To this day, we suffer from the legacy of slavery and the legacy of colonization. For how long are we going to continue to suffer from this affliction? For it is singularly the reason why we are not able to come together just like other races and nationalities have done in this melting pot that is the United States of America. When you ask for the voices of the Irish Americans loud and clear, Jewish Americans loud and clear, German Americans, Italian Americans, Chinese Americans, Indian Americans, their voices are loud and clear. But when you ask for the voices of us black people, you might as well go to the graveyard, because we are missing in action. We were taught, we were brainwashed into not even loving ourselves as individuals, let alone each other. We were taught not to trust one another. We were taught not to believe that my brother can, my sister can, but somebody else who doesn't look like you and I is better. The question I have for all of you, just close your eyes and think about your children, your grandchildren. Is this the world you want to leave behind for them? If the answer is no, then you need to have a serious conversation with the image in the mirror. Because it is the image in the mirror that must change. It is the image in the mirror that must understand that you are sick from this affliction of the legacy of slavery. You are not sick at home. You are not sick in the doctor's waiting room. You are not sick in the hospital ward. You are sick in the intensive care. How long are we going to continue to support other people's agendas? Those who stood up to fight during the civil rights movement, during the Pan-African days in Africa, civil rights in the United States, they were all silenced. We are emerging out of a period of 20 to 30 years where just nothing is going on. We are all fast asleep. When are we going to wake up?
We have a situation in South Africa where a white-owned capitalism or economic system has been exploiting our people, and our people have not been benefiting from the mineral resources in our country. We have a company called the London Mine, which is mining in a place called Marikana. In that mine, the mine has got everything, all the basic needs: water, electricity, roads. And just next to a mine is a township or a village where black people stay without water and electricity, without roads, without proper schools. Yet London Mine is taking their platinum and reinforcing and making London and Britain to be what it is. We cannot claim to be Africans, yet we have nothing to show as a proof that indeed we are Africans. For because we do not even have title deeds to prove that we are the owners of the land, we have nothing to show. When you go into mines, it's multinational companies. When you go into banks, it's multinational companies. When you go into monopoly industries, It's multinational companies. We cannot even own and protect our own agricultural sector with our fertile land in Africa, because Europe and the entire developed countries use Africa and South Africa as a dumping site. Every lower grade food get to be dumped in our countries, undermining our own agriculture. When we say those things, we are called communists, we are called anarchists, we are called radicals, because we must continue to bow before a white supremacist. We're refusing that.
Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, it's 𝗙𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗏. Thanks for coming. So in today's video, guys, as you've seen, these are two beautiful, amazing leaders in Africa that I really like and I really admire, especially when it comes to Julius Malema. He's a person who doesn't play around. He's very straight to the point, and I love him. I'm from Uganda, but I love Julius Malema, and I love the fact that he always talks about Africans as a group of people, as one people. He's not a person who's going to say, oh, I'm South African, and oh, I'm from Zimbabwe, and then, yeah, you're from Uganda. He's always like, you're African, you deserve to be in South Africa. If you're Kenyan, you deserve to be in Uganda. If you're Zimbabwean, you're supposed to be in Nigeria. Like, I love him for that. And the beautiful lady is Arikana Chihombori, who is also the former African Union envoy to the US. Amazing. I love these leaders because they are the leaders we need in Africa today in 2023. Also, Professor Lumumba, I love him. So many youth today are coming out to speak out. Me too, I would say, because we need to see change. If you look into Africa 20 years ago, you're going to see that we had leaders that were really doing change for Africa. But the leaders that we have today in 2023, when we Africans say that colonization is the reason why we are suffering a lot today in 2023, I'm like, that's a lie. We are suffering a lot today because of the leaders that we have today in 2023 that are more selfish than anything else that we've ever seen, that are willing to sell their own resources, that are willing to cheat their own countries. I mean, if you come to Uganda, you're going to see more potholes on the roads, and you're going to hear how member of parliaments are given cars of 10 million Ugandan shillings, and that is tax money. So you can't tell me that colonization is the most reason why we as Africans are suffering today. It's more of the infrastructures that our leaders are not really putting for us as a people in African countries to see ourselves as worthy, as we are able. Also, when it comes to the education, it's really limiting us because it makes us feel like we can't do anything without the white people. And of the issue where the lady said we as black people are mentally so ill that we were programmed to think whatever we have as black people is evil and demonic, which is true. Africans fear themselves because the devil is black and angels are always white. So we always want to, have white angels, white validations. It's the same thing with black people, the way we are made to believe that if it's not from a white person, it's not going to function. So Africans need to start working and fixing on themselves and stop blaming a lot of the colonization that happened to us in the history of us, and acknowledge that it happened. We were conquered, but how are we working on solving that issue? But most of the times we are always going to come out and complain, but we don't want to act about it. And it's really frustrating at some point to people like us that come out and talk about how we should find solutions, but then you're going to hear people come out and still complain. Complain has never won anything. I mean, our ancestors were not taken into slavery by just talking to them. Power and force was used on them. So why is it that we as black people in 2023, we don't realize the mistakes that we did in the history and fix them? We don't have any military support, but we have one thing that I know most of us use, and that is the word. We are good at talking as black people, but it gets frustrating when you get on the internet and then you're going to see how black women and black men are constantly fighting each other, how black people are constantly fighting, how Africans, African Americans, African diaspora wars. It's really frustrating. That's the self-hate that this beautiful lady is talking about. We hate ourselves so much that we are free to get on the internet and fight over ourselves than any other race on this planet. But why can't we use that in a positive light? And this is why I say that colonization happened, but now in 2023, I think we are getting it at a point where it's mostly us as a people that are a problem. We need to change because these platforms that we use are not ours. Our education was given to us by colonizers, religion colonizers, politics colonizers. Our health is not considered health because it has to be approved by colonizers. Sources are controlled by colonizers. We literally control nothing as a race of people. The only thing that we have and we should embrace, which is spirituality. We also fear it because colonizers said it's evil and demonic. So let that sink in. Until the right people, the right Africans, black people that have the right information, get time, invest in and go to Africa to teach young generation the truth about themselves as Africans, Africa is never going to grow. Black people are never going to develop because let me tell you guys, the worst white supremacy that you guys complain about in the Western countries is nothing compared to the one in Africa. It is the worst you can ever come across to. Let me tell you, the one in Africa is extreme, that Africans see white people as God, as gods, literally. So until we as the people that have the right information go deep into the African continent and teach people the right things about their own selves and ancestors and self and spirituality, Africa is going to still see white people as the savior that God created for them to live on this planet, and Africans are going to still want to die and leave everything for a white man, and for them to die and go in the clouds where the white man promised our ancestors. And this is the thing why we need to fix our education, because it makes Africans feel inferior and makes white people look superior, because that is the chain. It's the chain of power, and then the white man is on top of the chain, and Africans as usual are on the bottom of everything on this planet. So yeah guys, that is it for today. I hope you like the video. Tell me what you think, and please comment, subscribe, support the channel, support my work. The links are in the bio. Follow me on Instagram. TikTok is blocking me. I can't go live, I can't post that much. Like literally I'm under attack on TikTok. That's what I'm talking about. We need our own black medias, honestly, because it's really frustrating on that side. And yeah, let me leave you with this clip, and I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you in the next videos. Bye guys. Sorry, I have flu, that's why my voice is like ah. Bye.
We need to scrap this Western education and bring in African education. What is going to be the curriculum of African education? Tell us, go back to history, tell us what the white man did to us. Teach us in a way that will make us know that the white man is inferior. That is what the African education should do. Teach us in a way that will make us know that the white man is inferior. That's African education. Because the white man education is teaching the white man that the black man is inferior. That is what is making the white man feel like he can kill every African and go for free. If you want to give us African education, you have to bring in pride and teach us in a way that makes us know that the white man is inferior and we can do all things as Africans without them. You have to go back and tell us the stories of our fathers, how we conquered them. Stop hiding the truth from us. Stop telling us that our history from the slave trade. We have to instill African education. African education is good and safe for Africans. That is why if it was African education that will make our women promote Africa and see that we can also be great, that they are beautiful as Africans, that they can speak their local dialects, answer their Igbo names without and still look beautiful. So why don't you use your own and spread it to the world? Why are you collecting the one that's spreading to you?
Copycats.
Copycats. One of my poems, I've ever copycats. Copycats. Why are you not bringing your own to the forefront so they will copy? Why are you the one copying so you cannot think, Abi? You are nobody, Abi. Your papa that say, your papa that say evil, Abi. Go and think, nah, the best. Come on, this camera from my face.